Rugby League is back.
Drum roll, please.
You're a true Warriors fan.
I have no recollection of that hot take.
We don't all have to agree.
It's good to be back.
It's just a really boring team.
Oh, no.
Start winning some games.
I think there'll be a lot of changes to the team.
I've got them making the 8 for mine.
Let's go. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Advantage Line, TAB's Rugby League betting podcast. My name is Karl Teddy, joined in studio yet again by my good mate Paul Mawate. Paul, a weird week of rugby league, you could say.
Weird if you're a Wars fan, yeah. It was weird.
Yeah, that's where it's going.
Yeah, and we'll get to that, I'm sure. But no, yeah, I'm looking forward to this week. I'm looking forward to this week because I feel a bounce back coming. And I can't wait for Teddy to reel off some ridiculous stats that say the Wars aren't going to win this week, that they're not a good bet. You know, I will face them and I will take them once again.
We will get to that very shortly. Before that, we'll bring in Teddy, the man with his ear to the ground in Sydney. Teddy, one of the great betting weeks for you, I'm told.
Yeah, you're going to take me on just like last week, Paul? Is that how it's going to go? I want to a clip of that coming up.
Since when was Orange part of Sydney? Fair dinkum.
That was a great betting week last week. I think it's good on a broken any better. I won't have a week like that probably ever again. It was everything that could go right went right. So you don't often get many of those weeks, so make the most of it. But good week, and I think yellow jersey in the tipping comp. Is that right, Paul?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get to that as well. Boy, someone's taking the show over here, and I don't like the direction that it's heading in.
Before he gets too comfy, we'll bring in our next guest. He is a former Warrior, former Shark, former Tiger. He made Benji Marshall who he is. It is Blake Ashford. Ash, welcome in, mate.
Thanks, mate. Jeez, they just get better and better, those intros. I just want to say, guys, I really needed this. Thanks for taking me away from school holidays. Can only paint the toenails so many times. Doors are locked. So for this next hour, let's just talk footy.
Isn't this an 8-hour podcast, Blake?
Oh, I hope so.
Straight into a game of golf.
Yeah, love that.
Right. Let's kick off with some breaking news.
Oh.
And I say breaking news, not really breaking, but since the last record, we missed out on the James FisherHarris news probably by an hour, I'd say, last week when we were recording. But James FisherHarris has signed for the Warriors. And Dale Finucane forced into retirement yesterday. Teddy, thoughts on both of those pieces of non-breaking news?
Yeah, well, James FisherHarris, that came out of nowhere. Normally, you kind of get whispers that players are heading somewhere. That happened so quickly. I was talking of the school holidays. I was in the movie line to go and see Ghostbusters with my young fellow when the news came through. And mentioned it to him, and the lady behind me almost passed out with shock. She couldn't believe it. She's a Penrith fan, so. But yeah, massive news. I think probably a slight upgrade in Anderson or Blake. I don't think there's much difference there, but you've also got Hamlin Urella, which is you put the pieces together. You're certainly upgrading the position. It's going to hurt Penrith more than it's probably going to help the Warriors, I would have thought, because we say it every year, we haven't been right, but they're surely getting thin on the ground now. They lose superstar to superstar, which is huge, and he's been such a big piece of them going forward. Probably the most underrated piece as well. There's a lot of, obviously everyone talks Cleary and Isaiah Yeo, but James FisherHarris has arguably been the best prop in the game. So great signing there. Dale Finucane, sad. He was a wonderful, wonderful player, and sadly as a Bulldogs fan, I will never get over how badly he was misused and mismanaged by Des Hasler to the point where he had to leave the club. Barely getting a game, getting a few minutes off the bench here and there. He was a great player at the time and was completely misused, and then went on to have a decorated career with the Storm. The Sharks won played in 6 grand finals. Like that's a remarkable effort. So, when you look at someone like the great Norm Provan, played in 10 and is revered for that. Played in 6 grand finals, possibly only Cooper Cronk in the modern era is kind of topping that. So, and he played hard. The first word that comes to mind when I think of Dale Finucane is what an absolute hard nut he was, and not in the thuggish, kind of, standing over people. This is just a guy who was built out of granite, who worked his absolute guts out and set the culture. Cronulla are what they are today, this year, sitting on top of the table. It was Dale Finucane went to that club. Craig Fitzgibbon saw it, and to be honest, he is the new embodiment of Craig Fitzgibbon, if you ask me. So Craig Fitzgibbon found himself in Dale Finucane, born into the club, helped change the culture. So a lot to be proud of by Finucane.
Glowing words there from Teddy. Blake, did you ever get hit from Dale?
Oh yeah, plenty of times, and it was not nice. I'll tell you, everything you said, Teddy, was spot on. He's actually a top-notch bloke too off the field. You get some blokes that aren't, but he was just all round. No dirty secrets here. There's the old saying, all round good guy, and that's actually Dale Finucane. And can sing as well, which, always puts you up levels in my books. So, look, I wish him the best in whatever he has next. And I'm sure it'll be a joyful adventure into retirement. On the FisherHarris, first when it came across, I thought it said JWH. So I was like, it's okay, JWH, but JFH is a lot better, a lot younger, a lot fitter, golden boot winner. It just shows the work the Warriors have done over the last couple of years, and even Andrew Webster himself, because now you don't have to pay overs for people to come back to a Warriors environment that they know is a winning culture, or that's what it looks like from the outside, and we know it to be true. Now you're getting big signings, plus it's a big lift for New Zealand Rugby League in general. I think it's not just a New Zealander coming home, it's a New Zealander coming home who has ties to where he's from, to his homeland up north. And I think it's just a big plus for the game over here. And not only that, originally I thought it was going to be, you're going to have to buy 2 props, with Adam Fanua-Blake's money just to even get anywhere close to him. But now you're using that money and it's sort of like for like. Yes, they're different in the fact that, Harris is more of a hard-nosed runner, stand-over aggressive, but Adam Fanua-Blake more the ball player type, but can do that as well. But I just think it's like for like in the sense that Warriors don't really lose anything by getting FisherHarris. So massive, massive signing for the Warriors, and looks like they won't lose a step. And potentially, I'm not going to say it, but maybe SJ might run around again, knowing FisherHarris is coming back.
Well, that's been in the news too. Is SJ saying he's wanting to play on? Webby wants him to play on, but he hasn't got a contract. It's going to happen, isn't it?
Well, I think one thing that the FisherHarris signing does is it possibly makes the Warriors a lot more attractive destination for other players to decide to sign on the dotted line. And there were rumours during the week that the younger Jet Cleary, was seriously thinking about joining the Wars. There's also sort of rumours that possibly Jerome Hughes may be looking at maybe hitting back there. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Don't start, Jim.
I'm not sure where the pipeline of information for Australia's going from, but Jerome Hughes is 1,000,000 to 1 to be signing with the Warriors.
Rumours are going to start somewhere.
Let's cut that. We'll cut that piece out and we'll replay it when he lines up in the 7 jersey in 2 years' time at Go Media Stadium. I'm going to love this one. Just imagine yourself standing in line to get a ticket to Ghostbusters, Teddy, and the alert comes over the phone, Ghostbusters 25, and the alert comes over, Jerome Hughes to the Wars.
That would be something. Is Ghostbusters good?
It was pretty good actually for a kids movie. All the originals were in it, so it was a bit of a throwback to all the mums and dads who wanted to see their Peter Venkman and the like in there. So it was good.
I went and saw Kung Fu Panda 4, also very good.
How's it stack up compared to 1, 2, and 3?
Didn't take the kids, just me.
I went and saw Civil War, not a kids movie.
All right, let's move on. Right, I was going to next up, divided opinion. I had a question set, but I've thrown it out of the water this morning, and I've gone back and had a look at we're now a quarter of the way through the season essentially. So I've gone back, had a look at our ladders. Well, perfect timing with Blake on the show. Go back, have a look at the ladders, and I've come up with some sort of game and some sort of point scoring system for us here.
Oh, here we go.
So, if point scoring wise, you get 2 points for having the team in the exact spot.
Only 2.
Only 2. Half a point if the team is in the right half of the table, the top 8, bottom 9. And then because there weren't many points flying around at this point, I've gone one level deeper, and I've given us 1 point if you've got them in the right quadrant. So bottom 5, next 4. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
So
I think you need more points for exact.
well, it doesn't matter. It's still good. The result's not going to change. Just quickly whip around the room. How do we think we're going to go, Blake?
Oh, well, no excuses. My team's got a lot of injury. I'll probably be coming last in this.
Can confirm, yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie, how do you feel?
Either Sharks second and the Dolphins in the top 8, so I reckon I'll fly, probably win.
Okay, Paul.
I'll be middle of the table.
And I'll jump in here for Surly. He's optimistic. He thinks he's winning. All right, so we won't drag this out too long. But
good.
so I had two teams in the correct spot. We've got Broncos at 6, Cowboys at 8. Paul, you've got one team in the correct spot, and that's the Titans in last.
Yeah, that's yeah. We bet on that, didn't we? $9 at the beginning of the season. $9.
Not sure they'll be last after this week, Paul.
And I'd like to thank Teddy for his contribution to the Advantage Line, his final episode ever.
Funnily enough, you said that in the episode that I had to go back to and listen to today. Teddy, you've got one team in the right spot. That's the Broncos in 6th. Same with Surly. And then Blake, unbelievably, you've got 2 teams in the right spot. The Cowboys in 8th and the Knights in 15th. So I'm on 4 points there. Paul, Teddy, and Surly on 2 points. Blake also on 4 to start there. Top 8. I've got 5 in the top 8. Paul's got 5 in the top 8. Teddy and Surly, both 5 in the top 8. Blake, you've got 4 in the top 8.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Bottom 9. The 4 of us, excluding Blake, 6. 6 out of 9. Blake, you've got 5 out of 9.
Yeah.
So after those 2 rounds, I am leading on 9.5 points. Paul, Teddy, and Surly all tied at 7.5. Blake, you're at 6.5.
In my defence here,
Oh, here we go.
Para were looking outstanding until Mitchell Moses got injured. The Storm, who I had outside the 8, should have lost 4 of those games that they won. Just in my defence there. Anyway, carry on.
Oh, yes. And then we go to the quadrants. Starting from the bottom up. So I've gone 2, 0, 2, 2. So that means I've got two right in the top 4. Paul, you've gone 2, 0, 1, 2. Shock horror, none of us 9th to 12th. No one's got that right. So Teddy, 2, 0, 1, 3. You've got 3 in the top 4 currently.
The judge.
Surly, 2, 0, 2, 2. Blake, 2, 0, 3, 0.
Hey.
So you've got 3 in the bottom half of the 8 correct. Which brings the totals to Blake, 11.5. Paul, 12.5. Teddy and Surly, 13.5. And KT, 14.5. Quarter of the way through the season.
I thought you come with the scoring systems on top of the table. Shock me.
Hey, someone's got to put this show together.
I think we could have just gone closest to the pin on the wires, and that should determine who's on top of the table.
I'm gonna keep this system, and I'm gonna come back every quarter through the season, and we're gonna continue the tally. So there we go. All right, quick review of the weekend, and before we get into a proper review, there are a couple of grabs I need to play here. We've been hosing Teddy out for a few weeks now.
Yes. Yeah.
For a few weeks, you mean for a few years.
It's only fair that we give him, I don't know, some praise every now and then, just to keep morale up.
Can you see the name that he's given himself?
I can. The cat.
I was waiting for that little laugh there from you, Paul.
I can't. I've got no comeback. I can't argue. It was just a super weekend of punting by Teddy.
Well, the king reigns supreme. Listen to this. Hopefully this works.
It's one of my better bets of the week. I do think the Warriors will probably win the game, but +6.5 will be all over. So he's certainly shaking his head aggressively.
Well, you already know where I'm going with this, but yeah, absolutely, mate.
I love the wires. Give me the wires. 13 and over. I don't care what you did. I'm looking for a big bounce back here. And I love it. Yeah, 13 and over, Teddy. 13 and over. Big bet of the week.
Hey.
Ben Hunt scares me in this game, and I've got no facts to back this up, but Ben Hunt seems to love playing the Warriors and always seems to do well and score tries.
And against the Warriors, Carl, Ben Hunt's played the Warriors 23 times and scored 3 tries. So.
I told you I had facts to back it up.
It's the club he scored the least amount of tries.
4 tries for Ben Hunt against the Warriors. But no, outstanding stuff there from Teddy. He was all over the Dragons. And look, it got even better for the King too. We'll play this one as well.
No.
Signs of life from my Titans last week.
Yeah, fake news. Forget about it.
What are the stats say, Ted?
This is a chip syndrome on the Titans. This will be a bang. My best bet is you go to the try scorers. You get about $4 AJ Brimson to score a try. Like he gets his hand on the ball a lot more, obviously. He's a runner, so that's a good little bet there for punters.
Didn't play at 5'8", but scored one hell of a try, AJ Brimson.
Does any bonuses for try of the week?
I'll give you the floor, Ted. You've got 60 seconds if whatever you want.
Oh no, I don't need the floor at all, Carl. I was just happy to collect the cash. I'm not about the fame and the glory, Carl. I'm only about the cash. So I was very happy to see some fat accounts. It was a good week. It was one of those weeks that everything just went right. You get plenty of bad beats and plenty of complaints and plenty of that stuff. Don't worry, I saw a bad beat. I was all over the Tigers +14.5. Still can't believe they didn't cover, but it was a good week, and I was waiting for all the try scorers hit and as well as the game. So it's a good result, and this is my absolute time to shine. Is the first 8 weeks of the season. That's where I make my money from the punt, and I will be on a steady downhill run from after this week onwards. So we'll I reckon we've got one last lash in it, but after that, good luck, punters.
For every high, there's a low, and I think I'm that low at the moment. I'm so low, I'm getting stick from Teddy's mate Herb on Twitter. So that's it. I'm done. I'm out the door.
Best thing about punting is you've got a chance to win it back this week.
Oh yeah.
Quick look at the betting last week. Do you have the sheet up there, Paul?
Yeah, sure do.
You want to run us through
what happened?
What happened in everyone's
Do you want to run us through, Paul?
I'll run. Yeah.
Shock horror.
Here we go.
Ted won all bets.
Okay, we'll start with Blake. Seeing as Blake joined us this week, he had the Wires to win by 19 or more.
Far out.
Didn't quite come in. And then he had the Broncos to win. into the Cowboys to win, into the
Oh.
Wars to win. So no, not very good there. Surly, here we go. We can always
Surly.
rely on Surly.
Surly had $200 to spend, remember?
Yep. He had
Yes.
$180 on the Bulldogs head-to-head, Wars -6.5, and unders in the Roosters Storm game, unfortunately. And then he also had a anytime try scorer multi, the Fox to score a try, Jason Saab to score a try, Taruva to score a try. I'll tell you what, we're really getting warm here.
3 from 3.
Fortunately, Jackson Ford to
Oh.
score a try. So it was all over before it was done, to be fair. So yeah, he missed it. I think if Surly leaves the Wars and any sort of connection to them out of his multis, he would probably be very, very successful.
Can tell you, no, wires all over his bets this week.
Carl had the Broncos into the Storm, $50 on at 252, and then he had DWZ first, second, or third try scorer in the Wars to win. No good there. Myself, I had the Broncos, the Bulldogs, the Eels, and the Wars -6.5. No good. And then I had DWZ to score a try in the Wars to win by 13 or more. That was no good. Now let's get to the bright light, the king, as he has self-appointed himself. The king had the Dragons +6.5, $25 on, bang. He then had the Titans +9.5, bang. He then had the Broncos -7.5, boom. He then multied all of those together for $15. And then he had AJ Brimson to score a try as a little single bet as well. Ding, 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 ding. All winners. He is now $170.30 up for the season.
What about the rest of us?
Don't. Let's move on.
I'm down 180.86. Where is it? Oh, I see why Carl wanted to know. Carl is up $438.71. Surly is down $487.
Oh gosh.
Can't be more than that.
And Blake is down $265.
I'm sure it was only 2-3 weeks ago I was leading. Jeez, it's been a horrific drop.
Tough sport.
Oh,
By my calculations, we're down by about 250 as a group. It's tough.
Move on.
Surly, Blake, Paul, lift, please. Teddy, we might have to go out wide and start our own pod. Winners only.
The king and I.
The king and I.
Okay, so Teddy's Yul Brynner.
Right, tipping comp. The king reigns supreme. He won the week. He's up to 31st overall. Paul and I both got 5 points. I am 83rd overall. Paul is not on the first 2 pages of the competition. Blake, you only got 3 last week.
yeah.
Down from top 5 to 29th. Big fall
Big
from
bounce
grace.
back.
Yeah. All right. The games. We're gonna, because we've got a bit of other stuff to get through, go around the room, pick a game, have a chat. We'll only do 4 games in depth. Teddy, where do you want to start us off?
I'm going to start us off on the Dragons Warriors, because I'll be there. He'll give a proper view of the Warriors, but I reckon there's some slight concerns about the Warriors right now. I don't know what the word is over there, but they are playing fairly predictably in attack. I think teams who do decent opposition analysis are figuring out how to get to them, and that is play up and hard on SJ, shut him down for time out on the right, because they're showing nothing out on the left. My other qualm is Roger Tuivasa probably learn the rules when you come back to rugby league. I know it's very hard to shake the rugby union stink off here, but giving away that penalty was like Sean Johnson was beside himself with annoyance and that could have been a scrum instead of 2 points. And from memory, that 2 points put it out to beyond a converted try, beyond a 6-12-18 or 2-6-12-18. So pretty big in the context of the game. So really frustrates me when players don't bother learning the rules of the game. So I think disappointing from Roger that one. Sean was unhappy, but I think with FisherHarris coming, this is a team that will probably start next year second or third favourites for the premiership. I think the core is obviously there, but I think they need to start playing left-handed a little bit more as well. Like, don't just keep playing the same style every week. We all know Chance does a great job in unlocking DWZ. You know, they've just got to try and mix up their attack a little more because they're becoming a little bit predictable for my opinion.
I think they miss Metcalf big time because he gave them another point of attack, and he's one player that could take the ball to the line and put that defensive line in two minds. Whereas Tamari Martin is very much he's more a sort of a game manager. He's more a sort of a poor man's SJ at the moment for mine. They're just not getting enough sort of variation, and I agree they are becoming predictable. So I'm sure that Webby will be having a look at that and thinking of a few things and changing things up a bit. But I just think that Metcalf is a bigger loss than possibly was initially thought.
Well, I'll be playing Chanel there ahead of Tamari. For mine, that's just my opinion. But I think he offers a bit more creativity.
Yes, a point of difference. He does.
I think we're getting found out the injuries. Last year we had one of the best runs in terms of injuries, and this year it's starting to hit pretty hard. We get Dylan Walker back this week, which is a huge in for mine. But I completely agree with you, Teddy. The predictability and the preference to stick to the right is probably hurting them a lot more than it's helping them at the moment. Blake, I know you've got a few opinions here, particularly around Tomato Martin.
Yeah, it's just the way they're running their shape, and they might have been doing it for a while. I just noticed it about 2 weeks ago. So Sean Johnson's playing the whole field, right? And then you've got Tamati Martin on the left, and then you've got Chance Nickel-Coxted on the right, and they don't really move. Whereas you see a lot of the other teams, they'll switch and change. Their fullback will swing. So it's sort of a bit confusing at the moment. But their thing on the left, a lot of their shape, even to their right as well, they're running outwards towards the sideline. There's no real straightening up. And what that does, especially on the left-hand side, like you want to see Roger with his footwork get early ball, but not going out, going at the line straight, because he can step and use his footwork that way. I just think they need to probably use that a bit more, that straight. And this week will help, like you said, to the injuries, the flat and fast, Dylan Walker, fast feeder around the ruck. I think that'll help. Also last week, look, their game, I think Andrew Webster went there with a game plan, and it was to work those Dragons forwards over. And that's why he had that bench that he had, like as in speed wise, not go through them fast. I think they were trying to play fast, not run over the top of them. And then when that didn't work, that's why you saw Adam Pompey and Paulie Roach only get 1 minute, because you wouldn't want to throw them on in the deep end like that. So I think he went there with a game plan, and once that game plan didn't work the first half hour, I think, it was all backpedaling from there. But their attack does need to change, I think, and it needs to centre around that forward pack. And like you said, Carl, I think the massive inclusion's Dylan Walker, and that's going to help this week.
After the first set, Paul.
It was looking good.
70 meters with no restriction. Like, it was the easiest opening set I think I've ever seen. I was sitting on the couch with some mates, and we kind of looked at each other like, we're going to put 50 on it here. It was the momentum shifts in the game, Ted, came at the wrong time for the Warriors, and the Dragons capitalised big time.
Yeah, and there's a bit of resilience about the Dragons, which is what you'd expect from a Shane Flanagan coach team as well. I think with the Warriors, spot on about Dylan White. I sometimes think that when the going gets easy, the Warriors have a bad habit of playing down to their opposition or playing up to their opposition. And I think there are a few teams like that. And I think that when the going gets a bit easy, I think the worst thing that happened to the Warriors last week was an easy start for them. I think it was, they got themselves into a comfort zone. It was a very poor bench last week. I don't think I've barely thrown a critical word out about Andrew Webster just taking over. I thought that was a very, very poor bench last week. I don't think you can go on with Pompey and Roach on the bench like that. I thought that was pretty ordinary. I think with the Warriors, like Dylan Walker is going to be so important, as you mentioned, that fast feet through the middle, because they're just not playing direct at all. Like even like teams are moving well. I'll give you a good example. Canterbury have improved significantly by just pretty much eliminating the block play. They've gone, we've got kick out, we've got Burton, we're going to get them early ball, we're going to get Cherry early ball, and we're going to focus on passing up the line properly rather than trying to set up and create gaps through the running. It has worked a treat for Canterbury. They've played very well the last 3 weeks with the ball in hand, whereas the Warriors are kind of going the other way. They're kind of focusing block play, and then even when they're hitting the front man, like it's all slow developing stuff, right? It's not happening quickly. So I agree with what Blake said. You've got to get Roger early ball. And he's spot on. Like those wingers have got no room to move. And you kind of see that with ordinary teams where they try to replicate what the Panthers are doing. But the fundamental mistake they always make is the Panthers run straight or outside in, whereas bad teams run inside out and just cramp their wingers. It's the easiest thing in the world to defend. So, hopefully, we're just smart enough, and I'm sure that won't be there for kind of going forward. But really needs to kind of get that clicking.
Hopefully, that's the game that kicks the Warriors into gear, because they've only kind of put 1 or 2 games together all year. Maybe they need a little kick up the butt.
They certainly got it. They certainly got it there.
Talking about that as well, Carl, not much was mentioned of the 90-minute game, 5-day turnaround, having to travel. And then you get off at Sydney and then have to travel an hour and a half on the bus or an hour down to Wollongong. Like, I know there's no excuse to that, but like to Teddy's point, the worst thing that happened was the way they started, because you felt like, yep, they were tired, they were a bit fatigued, but if they get 2 or 3 tries at the start there, who knows? But when they didn't and they created those opportunities and they couldn't put points on the board, then I think it sort of mentally was a bit draining, and they got done by a better Dragons team with a better game plan in the end.
You've spot on there, Blake, as well. Travel is such an underrated part. You don't how difficult it is on a short term or a short week. What, you've got a recovery day, what you might got 5-day turnaround, international travel, what you might get 2 sessions in, like at best. Like it's hard to do. Plus the fatigue and this is something that really gets spoken about over here, but I'm sure you guys speak about it. Like, it must be a real pain in the backside getting the passport out, having to go through customs both ends and play like, which is just something that doesn't happen for. But every NRL team might happen once a year.
Yep.
Happens 12 times a year for the Wild. So I'm always very, very wary of the Warriors coming to Australia, particularly on a short turnaround, and those awkward travel ones to Townsville, Canberra, where you're not getting a direct flight. I'm always particularly careful of the Warriors. Those ones.
Couple of pretty good performance. Well, one very good performance. Zach Lomax is a pretty good player. Sits atop the Dalian points table at the moment. That try he scored, where he just jumped and went through untouched.
Like the replica of a try he seems to score every week at the moment. Just takes the ball above his head and runs through and scores.
Has Flanagan got the best out of Lomax, and just like that, just bang?
Like Lomax is off his head wanting to leave. Like he's finally found a coach who has unlocked him and has unlocked his natural talent. Like I've never seen a disgruntled play better in my life. The guy wants to leave the club. He's leaving the club. It's just like he's absolutely airborne.
Yeah. Do we see a blue jersey for him?
I think so. Yeah, I think he's a good chance to play on that wing, on the right wing.
Well, Blake, props to Blake, because he called it a few weeks back, and everyone was kind of like, "Oh, are you sure?"
But, yeah, just gets better.
Yeah. Nice. All right. In fear of losing my game to someone else, I'm going to go next, and it involves a team that the Warriors are playing this week. Titans 30, Manly 34. I thought this was one of the most entertaining games of the round as a neutral fan, just watching tries back and forth. Manly up 10-0, Titans up 12-10. It was incredible. Some cool tries, some terrible tries. One player I want to pull out that I've been pretty impressed with the last few weeks, and I might get a few scrunched up faces here, but Kieran Foran. He is old. There we go. There it is. There it is.
Oh,
Here-
you're clickbait for Teddy, aren't you? Hey?
He is playing so good at the moment. For how long he's been around, how battered he is, how I just think his touches at the moment are class and just shows he's still got it. Teddy, you disagree?
Yeah, he can't tackle. For the
He's not in the
start.
team to tackle.
I do think they're much better with Kieran Foran and halfback than Tanner Boyd, obviously. So I think he does a good job in leading them around the park. And so I think they're in a better spot there. But whether I think he's worthy of a call out for playing sensationally, we'll probably respectfully disagree on that one. I think he's doing his job, which is something that hasn't really happened over the last 10 years, but all I know now.
Well, he's maybe it's because he's standing out in a horrible team. But
To me, the player to call out for the Titans, I think has been playing super, is Brian Kelly. Since he's come back, Brian Kelly is just one of those hard-running centres that never gets any credit, but he has been playing super. He makes the right decisions in defence and attack. He gets the ball away quickly. And going back 2 weeks, he kicked from the sideline and sent a golden point when he kicked. His only previous kick in the NRL was 4 minutes ago and was an absolute shocker. It was something else. But I think Brian Kelly's someone. I think the Titans are a team on the up at the moment, so we'll get to that. But I think they're going to turn it around a little bit. I think they're improving enough, and when they can get rid of Tanner Boyd permanently, they'll be right as rain.
With that, when do the Titans bite the bullet and say, because look, I reckon AJ Brimson is their best option at fullback. And I think Jaden Campbell had a couple of weeks. He had some weeks last year. And AJ Brimson, the centres, wasn't really working. They put him to 5'8", closer to the ball. They almost beat the Raiders. Plays fullback. Yes, both teams couldn't defend, but they just go down to a Manly team in a try-scoring fest. So I don't know. I think it might be time for the Titans to bite the bullet and chuck Brimson as the permanent number one. Because he's so much better with the ball in hand.
And Jerome Hughes at 7 by the sounds of it.
Yes, that was floated.
I think there's a very good chance Jerome, probably not this year, but I think there's a very good chance Jerome Hughes ends up at the Titans next year.
after he comes to the Warriors.
It must be a short sim on those Chad Townsend stints. No, I can't agree. I don't mind whether Brimson's 5'8" or fullback, but he can't be centre. And I think that AJ Brimson always seems to be the one who's shuffled around. But I think they should start building a team around where AJ Brimson's playing and start shuffling other players around because he's clearly their most talented back. So, like, if Jaden Campbell's going to learn to play in the half, then Jaden Campbell's going to learn to play in the half. Like, I'm sorry, let's stop moving the team around it. And because AJ is versatile, making him chop and change for it. I've never seen such a good player be kind of so disrespected by his own club. And not in a malicious way, but in a way just like, oh, you're going to play centre. Oh, no, we're going to move you to 5'8". We're going to move you to halfback. Oh, you can go back to fullback this way. Just pick his best position, let him develop.
What about Dale Finucane? Was he disrespected? Is there a common factor here that Dale Finucane was disrespected at the Bulldogs and now Brimson is getting disrespected at the Titans? Is there a common factor here in terms of the coach?
Well, Des has a lot of disrespect for a lot of players and a lot of things, including the Bulldogs salary cap. So, good luck to the Titans with Des. But I see Des has managed to get Kieran another massive extensive. Probably not. We'll get him another massive contract extension, I'm sure.
It's a bit like Brimson's a bit like Nick Meaney. He's sort of been dotted around different positions and now he's sort of found a home at centre. He's playing pretty well. But yeah, agree. Put Brimson where he's best suited and let him play well there.
Yeah.
You mean Nick Meaney, the Roger Tuivasa Shep clone?
that was also in the episode that I had to go back to for the top 8. And I believe Blake got compared to Babe Ruth at one point.
Oh, how good. The Babe.
And I can confirm it was Blake that said he had the Dragons on 1 win.
One win every 2 weeks, I mean.
All right, Paul, what game do you want to call out?
I'll go the Dolphins Eels up in Darwin. I thought this was just another massive effort by Wayne Bennett to just be able to cobble a team together. You have a look at the players that are on the injured list for the Dolphins. The Hammer, of course, Flegler, Felice Kafusi,
Gilbert.
Gilbert is remember, he was going to be a big part of that forward pack at the beginning of the season. And Herbie Farnworth, these guys, the way that they've been able to shuffle players in and out, the young fella that played fullback just had a fantastic. Was it Trey
Here's the
Fuller?
thing, he's not young.
Nah.
He just doesn't have any experience. But have you seen a team have more fun than the Dolphins?
Exactly.
Like they are just playing like they're kids who are just loving football. Like I just like when that Orange Keeley threw that pass back to Max Plath and he scored his second try and they were all jumping. I just thought this is a fun team to watch.
A fun team to be a part of, it seems, as well.
Oh,
They're enjoying their footy.
And we talk about cultures of clubs all the time, but like Wayne set that culture. Like, and that's you rarely see a lot of disgruntled players when Wayne's coaching. He mightn't be the X's and O's guy anymore, and we know he's not. He didn't even travel to the game, but it's he sets a culture there where it's about fun. Next man up. If you get dropped, it's not the end of the world. You know, you can get dropped, you can come back in. Like Avril didn't get a game week one. All of a sudden, he's flying. So I love what he's done there, and I love where the Dolphins are at.
A good coach can make a hell of a difference to a team. You look at Bennett at the Dolphins. You look at Flanagan at the Dragons. He's turned them around in quick time. Webby at the Wars. Seraldo starting to have a bit of an effect at the Dogs. You get the right coach around the right sort of people. Yeah, Teddy's not buying Seraldo.
Well,
Like,
hats off to Christian Wolf. I mean, it wasn't like they were dominating the whole game. Parramatta were winning at halftime. Parramatta were looking the better team at that first half. So he would have had to come in at halftime with a young crop of lads and sort of work some magic. We know Wayne wasn't there, as you said, Teddy. So he would have had to deliver a halftime speech that could have been Wayne Bennett like, or might be Christian Wolf like. I'm not too sure. But for them to come out that second half, Parramatta looked like a reserve grade team. With the talent they've got in their team, man, I don't know how much. Yes, a lot of it goes to the players and a lot goes to the coach as well. I mean, Brad Arthur's had a long tenure there with not many results. So, look, I mean, I think it's a long road. They've got to try and hold on now, Parramatta, until Mitchell Moses gets back. But the Dolphins, like you said, my hat goes off to Christian Wolf for that halftime, whatever he did at halftime, because they came out the second half and looked like world beaters. They're outstanding.
That'll be the final nail in the coffin for Brad Arthur. I know they were tossing up whether to chase Wayne Bennett or move on. I don't think he can overcome that. Like, it's a tough position when you're one of those kind of middle of the road coaches. He does a good job and everyone likes him and he's fairly popular with the players. But he's been there 12 years. You might be of Steve Folkes at the Dogs. Like, he's a good coach without being a great coach. And if you want to kind of maximise the talent you've got, you've probably got to move on. But sometimes hard moving on because how are you going to take a risk of getting a really bad coach? And there's every chance they will, because they've got Trent Barrett as their assistant. And boy, oh boy, there's nothing I would enjoy more than seeing Parramatta coached by Wayne by Trent Barrett. That would be absolute heaven for me. Prayers, that's where they're going. But I think that's here's one. But you're associated with the game. Who are the best assistant coaches who aren't really talked about for paid coaching jobs in the NRL at the moment? Like, for mine, Lee Greers would be one. Brian McDermott at the Knights is another. Anyone that kind of stands out to you, Blake, as a possible contender?
No, not off the top of my head, to be fair. I'd probably go John Morris at the Tigers just go straight there. I know he has a lot to do. I was in there the other week and I got to see him work firsthand, and he's already done the job and done a good job with the Sharks. So, maybe him, but off the top of my head, not really too many come off, Ted.
He's done a super job. Like, they haven't conceded more than 26 points in the game this year, the Tigers. And compared to where they were at last year, I think he's done a wonderful. And then to the other hand, where he's left South, where he's running their defence. And look, they're leading 32 points a game. So I think that says it all.
All right, Blake, what game do you want to pull out?
The Thursday night game, the Roosters Storm. A lot of controversy in it, but I just thought, look, the Storm just keep winning games, don't they? I didn't think they were that good this year, and they haven't really played outstanding. Like I said, a lot of those games they've won in the dying seconds. But once again, this game, the Roosters forwards absolutely bashed the Storm's forwards. They bashed them for the first half hour. I just didn't know how the Roosters weren't in the lead because they dealt the Storm some massive hits, but the Storm just kept finding a way. The Roosters at the moment, it's just so hard. Like if they're not on the front foot with their forwards, so their forwards are winning when they were defending, but when they were attacking, they just weren't making enough meters. And Brandon Smith couldn't get going. Tedesco doesn't like a straight line. Like if you get a quick play the ball, Tedesco will be their first receiver. He'll dart, he'll go. That's when Joey Manu, we saw him come into his own in the second half when there was some quick play the balls. For the Roosters, it's just tough to watch at the moment. The halves don't seem to be clicking when they're both together. One likes to play better. Look, their team is there to do it. It's just they're not winning games at the moment. And look, those rules, it's the worst rule ever invented. I hate it. I said it when it happened to Capewell the week before on Trebojevic, when he didn't even touch him, went over the top and got called for a disruptor. And then this one, he got touched in the back and they were allowed to play on. I hate the rule. Should just be scrapped. If you're there to compete, well, you're there to compete. Either way, the fullback's there. They got a job. That's the job of a fullback. Catch the ball no matter all distractions. So, look, the Storm, once again, get it done in a close one. But, I'd like to hear your fellas' thoughts on. I know Teddy wouldn't be happy with the refereeing either.
Yeah, to me, the standard of refereeing has, like, they're trying to manage the game way too much instead of calling what it is. It leads to these wild inconsistencies. Like, I thought the refereeing across the weekend was incredibly poor. So, yeah, to me, I think there's two basic things that need to be done here. The bunker needs to be its own thing. I think it's like you can't just have these referees go in there and do what we do on the field. It's its own thing. That this is a long-term thing, but you need to get a whole strand of people who know the rules, have learn the game like referees, but have no association with the referees. They're their own thing. And that's what happens with every other sport. Like there aren't referees in the NBA, control center or that kind of thing. So, and on the field, just stop managing the game. I don't mind if there's inconsistencies between referees. If, this referee gives a short 10 or this referee allows you to hold down more in the play of the balls. That's always happened. Eddie Ward was always very big on certain things. David Mansell was big. That to me is fine. It is when when referees or bunker try to get too cute and too smart and think they know more about the game than well. That's what drives me insane. Perfect example for me was in the Titans Manly game, where Kieran Foran was it was an instruction every day of the week. Like Kieran Foran, by every definition that they've called, was taken out by a lead runner. Now, would I have called it back? Do I think it would have been? It should have been a try. But based on every precedent that's been set over the last 2 years, it should have been called back. But all of a sudden, that one's not called back. And that kind of inconsistency drives me insane.
Apologies, lads. I shouldn't have got him started.
Oh, worked up now. I haven't even got the Casey Badge again. We called this week.
Good place to move on and have some fun. Let's go to the grid.
No.
Let's go to the grid and do this. Smash this one out. Across the top, won 2 or more premierships, has played for the Bulldogs, scored 4 or more tries in a game. Down the left, has played for New South Wales, has been a teammate of Viliami Kikau, has played for the Tigers. Teddy, give me your top line, please.
This is the one for Tuesday, 23rd of April.
It is.
And so if you haven't done it,
pause,
do it.
Make sure you come back too. Don't leave us on pause. Teddy.
Won 2 or more premierships, played for New South Wales, Luke Prittis, 2.98 points. My only wizard for the next one, Dogs played for New South Wales, Marco Mealy, 2.45. Surprised it was a wizard, but anyway. And scored 4 tries in the game, played for New South Wales, Hazem El Masri, 4.30.
Good start. Blake.
Top row won 2 or more premierships. Anthony Minicello, $3.70. Also a wizard with Teddy, Mark O'Mealy, $2.45. And the last one scored 4 tries in a game, played for New South Wales. My favourite centre, Jamie Lyon, 6.11.
You know you're a punter when you pull decimal points out as a price. $3.70. Paul, your top row. Oh no.
Just, Dale,
Congratulations,
lot of-
first of all. Paul seems to have done it before the show, so a big congrats to Paul.
Dale Finucane, 4.47. Josh Adokar, 3.67. Josh Morris, 8.55.
I have got 2 wizards in my top row.
Ooh.
Won 2 or more premierships, played for New South Wales. Liam Martin, 1.89.
Oh, wow.
Dogs, New South Wales. Jamal Idris, 2.4. And scored 4 tries in a game, played for New South Wales. The great Mark Gasnier, 2.75.
Oh, airborne.
Next row, please, Ted.
Billy Army kick-out teammate, 2 or more premierships, Spencer Lenu, 3.91. Next one, Dog, Billy Army kick-out teammate, Brain, 0.71. Harrison Edwards.
Oh,
And
jeez.
Excuse me?
scored 4 tries in a game, Billy Army kick-out teammate, Charlie Staines, 5.06.
Oh, good. Blake.
I had Mitch Kenny, 3.91. I had the Bulldog kick-out teammate, Hayes Perham, $1.54. And this one was really put me out there. 4 tries in a game. Josh Adokar, 17.03. So,
Woohoo!
Paul.
James FisherHarris, 8.43. Josh Curran, 100. Brian To'o, 100.
Not updated for 2024 yet. I've got Scott
Which just
Sorensen.
says, which it does say quite clearly at the top of the.
Yeah,
Yes, it does say it. Yes.
Scott Sorensen, 4.94. I got a Brain here. Dogs, Viliami kick-out teammate. Your man Teddy, Toby Sexton, 1.37. And I also had Josh Adokar, 17.03. Bottom row, Ted.
Well, I was hoping I'd be able to sneak in Blake Ashford 4 in a game, but we didn't quite get there. 2 more premierships, Matt Ballon, 13.18. I really struggled this last year. The Dogs won. I got a Brain here, Farmer and Brown, Dogs and Tigers. And scored 4 tries in the game, Tigers. This was hard. I got Marika Koroibete 10.15, but really struggled. Really wanted to put someone that wasn't Josh Adokar. So Marika Koroibete 10.15. But I was surprised. I went and had a look afterwards. I would have, like I was thinking, I was almost guessed Tuiaki, and he got to 3. I thought maybe Fitzhenry, and there's kind of you where I was scoring 60. No.
Didn't look for me. No.
I did. I did look for Ashford.
I was lucky to get.
sure there would have been a game you would have got.
I was lucky. Actually, I was lucky to get 1 Teddy, let alone 4. Yep. 2 or more premierships. Paulie Fadawira, 5.62. I had the Bulldogs Tigers was David Clemmers, 7.38, and I also had Marika Koroibete on debut, 4 tries. Can remember it like it was yesterday against the Eels.
Wow, on debut was it? Wow.
Who you got, Paul?
Uppy side Kurasau, 14.38. Matt Utai, 3.32. James Tedesco, 100. Stupid.
And I also had Matt Ballon, 13.18. I thought that was a lot for him.
So I agree. When Appy was only 14, I knew Appy straight away. I would have racked my brain thinking for Matt Ballon for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Save a point.
Josh Adokar could also go on that thing. Josh Adokar probably could have gone on all of these. Middle, I had David Clemmer, 7.38, and then I had Matt Utai 18.08. Very fickle, isn't it? You move these players around, their points can drop or change dramatically depending on the square they're in.
Well, I was
Anyway.
regretful. I was regretful of the Villiamy kick-out teammate 4 tries. But it took me forever to think of a Tigers player. I thought I could have put Charlie Staines in there.
Yeah. Teddy, what was your score?
44.6.
Oh, that's good. Blake?
57.9.
Oh,
42.8.
342.8.
42.8.
And I had a pretty nice number, 69.
Yeah. Is that fun computer getting a workout?
He said fun, punters. He said fun. All right.
We'll have fun till the daddy took the keyboard away.
Let's move on. We're going to skip over on the spot this week, and it is ANZAC Weekend. We do have a former NRL player amongst us here today, boys. So I thought, Blake, throw to you here. What's it like? Give us some insight into what it's like playing on ANZAC Weekend.
It's so special, mate. Like even today as a fan, I still pencil this day in as my favourite rugby league day of the year. There's so much emotion that goes around this day, as we all know the history of ANZAC Day. But getting up, being a part of the Warriors, you go to the dawn service over in Melbourne plenty of times. You go back to bed, but you get up, and it's such a big day in Melbourne as a part of the Warriors, as I was. You get there, the emotion, the lights go out, the goosebumps stand up. Like it's such a great day on the calendar that I think the NRL do well. And they've had these solid teams like the Roosters and Dragons been playing for 20 years, and it's delivered some of the best clashes. Because I think apart from semi-final football, you look for games like rivalries or things like this to really bring the involvement of not just the NRL fans, but all spectators on ANZAC Day. And these days, these games do so much. I think the Roosters and Dragons, like as I said, over the last 20 years have delivered some of the best games, and it means so much. No matter where teams are traveling on the ladder, they just seem to turn up for these games, these types of games. The history will be done throughout the week with the teams. They do get ex-war vets in to talk about what ANZAC Day really means. So the kids that have just getting their first starts, like Isaiah Mayu this week for the Warriors, may get to know a lot more about ANZAC Day and what it truly means to Australia and New Zealand. So, look, this week I penciled this in, and I'm so happy that the Warriors are still on this day, and they've actually got 3 games this year instead of the 2. So I can't wait for ANZAC Day. It's going to be huge.
Were you involved in the game, the 100th year commemoration against the Titans here in New Zealand?
I don't think so, no.
2018, 2019?
No, I wouldn't have been. No, I wasn't in that game. I think it might have been at Reggie's or I was injured, one of those two. It was the last year, but I would have been at the game, I think. And yeah, look, it's such a big occasion tomorrow, and it'd be important. The Warriors fans, I know they're going to turn out sold out once again, which is huge. But we finally get an ANZAC Day in New Zealand, which I think is a massive plus. We've talked about it all day, how big it is for New Zealand Rugby League. I think it's huge.
The Warriors are planning, Ted, the world's biggest ANZAC Day ceremony pre-match. They've got 180 odd New Zealand Defence Force personnel taking part. They're flying in the match ball with a chopper. It's going to be huge. And knowing the way the Warriors do, fan entertainment at Mount Smart, this is a game that I'm looking forward to so much. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they'll do well to match the ceremony that you typically get before the Dragons Roosters at Allianz in the city. It's always big. It's always really, really impressive. It's always really touching. And I'm sure the Warriors will do a great job over there. I'm super happy that the Warriors now are getting a game. I hope it is this. Well, it's sad to see the Storm Warriors game, which has
Mm.
been so traditional, go out the window. I'm very happy to have 3 games in it, from a football point of view, but 2, but it just extends the ceremony. Like, I know that they play the last post before every game. They read the ode, they do all of that stuff for every game, but it means a hell of a lot more on the day than it does on the Sunday afterwards or whatever. So I think it's absolutely fabulous that they're playing 3 games. I think absolutely fabulous that New Zealand are getting their own home game for this. Look forward to that tradition to be built on. Would like them to have probably got a little more of a more glamour matchup than the Titans, but we can work on that kind of going down the line. But look, I'm going up. The game's so important to me. I'm going up to the Dragons Roosters game with previous host for me, Matt Fisk. We absolutely love the day. Like, it's super important to me to be out there, playing 2 up in the afternoon, footy. Like, that's just part of the day. And going to dawn service, actually just spending some time reflecting on, I'll say this great country, but these great countries of ours that we live in, call home, are as free and as open and are as enjoyable to live in. When you look at some of the places around the world where the biggest issues in our life are what a shitty referee did on the weekend or some bad beat, hardly genuine problems, if you know what I mean. So we're in a great spot, and we've got those people who fought for our freedom in World War I and World War II. So a good time to reflect on that.
Anything to add heading into ANZAC weekend there, Paul?
No, I think the boys have covered it. Just happy to see the Wires kick it off on Thursday afternoon up in Auckland.
Surely we get that Storm. It's got to come back, and it's. I saw something. I think Tohu said, actually, like, why not do it? Year
Home and
about,
away.
home and away,
Yes.
each year.
Yep.
Like,
Well, let's just have 3 games in ANZAC Day. I'm quite happy with that game to go out the window. Let's just have 3 games in ANZAC Day. It might minimise the 2 up losses. Speaking of which, why does? Here's just a question: why does no one play 2 up in New Zealand?
Because it was only the Diggers that did it, I think, in World War One. It wasn't not the Kiwis.
Well, we're all together until it comes to throwing a couple of coins in the air. And not for us.
I don't think the Kiwi soldiers got paid as much as the Aussie Diggers.
We'll continue with the ANZAC theme. We'll look at the 3 games here in depth before we get to some betting. And obviously starts with the Warriors, $1.22 versus the Titans, $4.10. Warriors have won 10 of the last 15, but the Titans have won 3 of the last 4. Warriors are 11.5-point favourites. The total points this week set at 45.5. Teddy, what have you got stats-wise? And I've got a feeling you're going with the Gold Coast here.
Yeah, this is a massive at the Titans. They've just been severely underrated. You got to remember, I said this on this podcast, on the podcast, but the worst teams in a year usually win at worst 4 games in a season. Often 6 will win the wooden spoon. Titans are winless. They're going to win. They're going to win some games. They're going to win a third of their games coming in here. You would think, or close to. Underrated. They've been very impressive the last 2 weeks. Lost in Golden Point. Lost against Manly. I say very impressive enough. But to me, this is very much a play against the Warriors here. This line is absolutely ridiculous for mine. How many games the Warriors have covered as a double-digit favourite in their last 5? None. They've covered 6 of their last 17 when favoured by 4 or more. Covered 1 of their last 8 at Mount Smart. To me, outside of South, the market does not have a team more wrong than the Warriors. Now, I think the Warriors are a very good team. I think the Warriors will probably beat them preliminary final weekend. But I think for end of April, the market has them decidedly wrong at the moment. So there's no way. To me, this line should be 7.5 max. So I'll be chips in the Titans in this one. Also like the under. Tend to like the under on ANZAC Day just because of the emotion and motivation is usually pretty high on this one. The under's hit in the last 6 between these 2 teams. 12-6 when the Warriors play at Mount Smart. 27-14 when they play day games. So I'll be looking at the under in this one too.
Anything there that says Warriors are 6-4 covering off a loss?
6-4 covering off a loss is not great. So the one I will say is that they're much better when Chance plays, and they They have won 18 of the last 24 against the Titans, and they've won 4 of the last 5 at Smart. But yeah, I don't buy into team. It wasn't a humiliating loss either, like when they concede 50 and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to be rolling with the Titans pretty heavily this week.
Yours, please, Paul.
No bet game for me. I'm staying away from it, but I do like the Titans plus 12.5. That's it.
30 minutes ago, you said you were going to take Teddy on and bet the Warriors.
Not on this game.
They're only playing one game this week.
No, that's it. I'm done. I'm cooked. I'm done.
The man is rattled.
I've seen Frazzle before, but never seen go this Paul.
Oh, get me out of here.
Blake, Capewell out, Laban in, Walker onto the bench, and as you said, Zion Ma'u gets a debut too. Big for the Warriors. Huge.
I think the biggest one, as we already spoke about, is Walker. You look last week, Barnett and Adam Fanua-Blake, one of them almost played the first 40. Tohu Harris made 28 tackles the first half. Like, they just did too much work. I like their record at Mount Smart, Go Media, against the Titans. I think with these players back, and the one thing about the Warriors all year has been their defense has been pretty good, except for last week when it was not very good at all. I think they're going to go back to that. They would have done a lot this week on those sort of defensive efficiencies. I think with Walker back, the offense will be rolling straight through the middle of the Titans, where we know is not very strong at all. They leaked a lot of points last week to a Manly team. I think the Warriors go straight through the Titans this week. And yes, it is a bit scary, but I'm not going to touch the line at all. But the Warriors at $1.21. I mean, it is short, but that'll be anchoring a majority of my multis.
So we talked about the Warriors attacking down the right. If they continue to attack down the right, it's probably a good thing this week. Warriors have scored 46% of their tries down the right this year. Titans have leaked 46% of their tries down the left, their left. So keep at it maybe for one more week and then change. All right. The next game, Dragons $2.50, Roosters $1.51. Chooks have won 8 of the last 10. They're 5.5 point favourites, and the total points this week 46.5. James Tedesco has scored 12 tries in 14 games. I think I've got that right. Versus St George since 2016. Teddy, what else have you got?
Really hard games. So the last 8 ANZAC games have been split down the middle, and 5 of the last 7 have been decided by 2 points or fewer. The underdog tends to lift for this game. And if you haven't been to that game, you are not going to feel an atmosphere like it. It is not Origin-like. It's not grand final sold out. There is just an underlying intensity to that game that, even when these teams have been in very separate parts of the ladder, the underdog is tending to lift. So probably leaning a little bit towards the plus. The Dragons are very good in New South Wales. Covered 34 of 53 and playing in Sydney, Wollongong, Newcastle. Covered 19 of 30 and a 4.5 plus dog. Look, they're off 2 wins. I kind of expect them to be pretty inconsistent teams. So I can't say I'm confident on the Dragons here, but I have to lend that way. The Roosters have covered just 3 of their last 10 as a favourite of 4 or more. Under maybe a bet as well. The Roosters 11 and 3 under at Allianz and 25 and 7 under off conceding 18 or fewer. These two have tended to play over games there, so not a great confidence betting game, but probably going to have something small on the plus, a little bit on the under.
Paul, Dragons are rolling out the same 17 as last week, although our man Jack Bird's sitting on the extended bench, probably not doing anything.
Hopefully he stays there.
Yeah. Roosters fans will be thinking otherwise. For the Roosters, Dom Young and Sam Walker back.
Just off of what Teddy said, I do like the plus 6.5 on the Dragons here. They're a much improved team from last season. As Teddy said, both teams usually get up for this game just because of the history surrounding it and it being on such a momentous day. So, a small bet, but I do like the plus 6.5.
Blake, Roosters, Dragons.
Yeah, I'll be on the Roosters. Look, for me, I think the whole Roosters video session this week is wherever Ben Hunt is, that's where you put an extra number. Wherever Lomax is, you put an extra number there defensively as well. Usually that's where the ball's going. 6 or 7 defenders on Lomax's side for the kick, the last tackle. That seems to be their play. Lomax will come in first, 1 or 2 tackles, get the carry, and then towards the end of the set, they're kicking for him. So, nullify that, and I think the Roosters will go a long way to winning this game. Adam G's refereed the last 2 games in this ANZAC Day clash. Both have been very tight. So I imagine, once again, the boys are trending well with the Dragons with the plus. But I'm just going to stick to the Roosters head-to-head at $1.43. You wanted to, you go Roosters $1.12 as well. If you like them to win, I think they'll do it in a very close fashion.
$1.12.
What did I say? No, 1 to 12. Sorry, Roosters $1.43 head to head, and if you like the margin, 1 to 12. Sorry,
You're in full punters mode here, right?
Just if it's NRL grid year, $4.33 I got for that player there.
I can sniff Anzac Day. The punts everything's happening.
The third game on Anzac Day, Storm $1.22, Bunnies $4.15. Bunnies have won 8 of the last 10. Melbourne have won 8 of the last 10. Bunnies have won 2 of the last 3. The Storm are 14.5-point favourites in the total points this week. 43.5. Bunnies have never won at Amy Park.
They've never won in Melbourne. They've never won in Melbourne. So dating back to when they first met in 98.
So they lost 50-0 a few years ago to Melbourne. I'm very intrigued to hear what your stats say here, Teddy, because I can see Melbourne running up a number here.
Give you 2 stats. We just went on one. 18 times played in Melbourne, never won. And South have not covered 1 of their last 13 games. They are last on the table, second last on the ladder. They are the most misjudged team by the market by a country mile. I am totally with you, Carl. I think Melbourne will win this by 40. Doesn't help South that Melbourne are in need of a breakout game. Like they have been winning a lot. They've had a very hard start to the season. They've kind of got through that. I think they wouldn't mind opening the shoulders and putting 40 or 50 on a team and just having a nice, easy win. Because I think all of their wins have been by single digits so far this year. But this is going no other way. South will cover 1 of the last 6 in a state, 5 of their last 16 off getting rested 10 or more days, 1 of their last 10 off conceding 28 plus. Bottom 4 teams off a loss, they cover it as 43%. Storm 24-14 against the spread against teams outside the top 8. So they do tend to beat up on them. 15-10 against the spread when favoured by more than a try at Amy. I'm just getting the cue. This is going to be a same game multi special here. South are awful defending down their left. I'll be all over. He's looking awful in defence, but the rugby union still hasn't left Will Warbrick, but I still think he can get over for a try. Ryan Pappenhausen will be scoring. Eli Katoa is going to be scoring. There's just going to be plenty of tries going around, and I'm backing this one up to South, up to Melbourne 30 plus. I'll be backing 40 plus. I think this could get right out of hand. This reminds me of a game where they put 70 on the Warriors that night.
Drive by. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that.
I really didn't.
He's just sprayed the. Wow.
Just when he was just endearing himself.
Yeah, I was on board with that. Blake, how do you feel about this game? Cook's back in, Arrow's back. I think though Totola is a big out.
Mate, huge out. No, I don't care who they've got in. I spoke about Anzac Day before, mate. Anzac Day down in Melbourne, you can be on 100% and low. I've been to some close games on Anzac Day, like I'm talking field goal, Cameron Smith, penalty goal, Cameron Smith, like 2-point games. There's just nothing that matches the Storm on Anzac Day. The lights go off before the game. You hear the national anthems. Just something clicks in them. And I'm with Teddy. I think this could be a massive score. The Bunnies have been poor all season. And you talk about those forwards coming in. What Storm do well is they have their 2 forwards, but they always throw a cutout ball. You'll see a long pass from Harry Grant that'll reach the second forward. And what that does is it moves the forwards around for the opposing team. So I think those forwards coming back in are going to be tired real fast for the Rabbits, and this could be anything. I wouldn't be surprised if it is reaching that scoreline Teddy mentioned that I won't mention.
Were you involved in that one?
No, I wasn't actually. I was involved in the close match.
Okay, good chat.
Have been sin bin to Anzac Day too.
Oh, passionate.
Another
Passion.
one, passionate. Yeah, passion.
Paul, do you agree, disagree?
Oh, I'm on this train. I'm jumping on board and I'm riding it all the way. And I think I found some power plays that just stick out at the moment as well. Nick Meaney to score 14 or more points is paying $4 at the moment. Nick Meaney to be the first or second try scorer and 50 or more points to be scored in the match, $21. And Nick Meaney to score 22 or more points at $26. I'm jumping on, and I'm really look. If this is going to be a try fest, then I think Meaney's probably going to be on the sheet as well, and he'll have a bit of success with the kicking boots, I hope, as well. So I'm all over this. I'm getting as much as I can on a number of these little things, and I will be having a nice little same game multi as well, because I think you can throw a few try scorers in there, and maybe we'll hopefully get a little collect. So yeah,
This could be very good or very bad for the punters.
come on.
We're all in
Well,
agreement.
why are you treating Nick Meaney like he's Roger Tuivasa-Sheck over there?
Nick Meaney, one of the great Canterbury Bulldogs.
All right, then a couple of other. We won't go through the other games. If you're looking at the other games, head to tab.co.nz and check them all out there. But a couple of quick big ins, I guess. Haas and Reynolds return for the Broncos. Cleary's back for the Panthers. Ponga gone for the Knights for a long time. Jamal Fogarty gone for the Raiders for a long time, and Braden Trindle dropped as well.
No, it wasn't dropped. He failed a roadside DUI.
Yes, he was dropped. He's not in the team this week.
Yeah.
Let's get to some betting, shall we? Teddy, the king. Can you go back to back? You've got $100. Where are you chucking it?
All right, I am going with. I'm going to go. I'll do a little bit like I did last week. I'm going to go 25 on the Cowboys plus, 25 on the Raiders plus, 25 on the Storm minus. I'm going to have a $10 multi of them all.
Paying
Sorry,
$7.40.
$15 multi of them all. So, and the last
Thanks.
10 will go on a little double. So the West Tigers are debuting a winger this week by the name of Solomon.
Hello?
Yeah. I don't know where he comes from, but I watched him play New South Wales Cup. He's going to be the worst player to play in the NRL since Greg Smith played for the Knights in 1999 after lying and saying he played for the Philadelphia Eagles. He looked so lost. I've got no idea how he's going to call up. So I'm going to have a little same game multi with the remaining cash. Jesse Arthurs and Dean Mariner both to score tries on his side of the field because he's going to drop bombs. He's going to miss tackles. I cannot wait. This is going to be like a baby giraffe with 3 legs running around. I'm very excited. So this isn't so much a drive-by as a pure assassination. But
What if I told you he came from rugby union?
I know he came from rugby union. I'm well aware, but surely not at any high level. Or is he an All Black?
No, he didn't play for the All Blacks, but he played Super Rugby.
That's not surprising. I did say a high level.
All right, Blake, where are you putting your $100?
All right, this week I've got $80 multi. I've got the Warriors, the Roosters, and the Broncos all head to head, and I've got the Storm power play, the Storm to win both individual halves, and that is $4.15. The last 10, I've gone. The last 20, I've gone with Tommy Turbo to score a try and Manly to win. Taruva to score a try, the Panthers to win, and Solomon Alamalo to score a try, and the Broncos to win. At,
That could not have played it any better.
at 16.56, 20 on that.
Hey, he's just got to score one, and then he can let the other two in, and you
Yeah.
both win.
Just
I
need.
guess-
I was
like-
starting to think all your time in New Zealand, like rugby union starting to get into your head there.
No, when I went through the Tigers last week, they I've spoken, I've had some words. It's coming. It's try time. Plus, I also know someone else who scored on debut against the Broncos at Campbelltown, so sort of give me a omen bet there.
Love it.
I've got Surly's bets here.
Last
did
Thursday,
say-
boss.
He did no. He did say he wants to win some money this week, so we've got to get a winner. So he's gone $80 on a safe 4-leg multi. Storms, Dolphins, Manly, and Warriors all head to head, paying $2.80. Ted's lost his guts here.
Oh my god.
And $20 on a Dallin Wateni, Zalesniak, Xavier Coates, and Bostock. Anytime try score a multi at $4.94. Do you want to go next, or do you want me to go?
I'm happy to go.
You go.
Alrighty. Right. I've wiped the slate clean. I'm looking at my punting from a different angle this week. Teddy's mate, Herb Everstinks, if he wants to follow me in, I'm very happy for that to happen.
Do you remember a few weeks ago when Paul said he's just going to start swinging for the fence?
Right, here we go. I've got a $50 3-leg multi first up, okay? $50.
Safe one.
Khan Pereira to score a try. Zach Lomax to score a try. And Xavier Coates to score a try. They're all on Anzac Day. So that's my little Anzac Day special. Those 3 players to score a try. Comes out at $12.48. I've got $50 on that. I've then got a Sunday little multi. 2 players to score a try. Max Plath. He's paying $6.50 to score a try. He scored a double last week. Look, he came back from that 2-week suspension for that hip drop. He just seems to be the player that sort of turns up just when you need someone there, just someone on the inside.
Great support player. Great support player.
Yes. Yeah. And I think the $6.50 is just slightly overs for a player like
Just like his dad, just quietly. He plays just like his dad.
very. Oh, yes, yeah.
Umpire.
Max Plath $6.50 into Teague Wilton to score a try at 3. I think he's been one of the standouts for the Sharks this year. That comes out to 24.
Paul's albino double.
Oh, I can't touch that. I can't touch the king this week. I'll let all these things slide. But next week, watch out. I'll be full of fire. So those 2 to score a try comes out at 24.37. I've got $40 on that, so I've got $10 left, and that's going on the power play in the Storm game. Nick Meaney to be the first or second try scorer, and 50 or more points to be scored in the match at $21.
So he's swinging for the fence, folks. Strap in. I'll bring us home here. I've got 3 bets. The first one, a 3-leg multi, $70 on. There's a power play Storm to lead at the 20-minute mark. Into Sea Eagles head-to-head into Broncos with an alternate line of -5.5, paying $3.32. Then I've got a little same game multi in that Storm game we were just talking about. Hughes, Pappenhausen, and Coates to score 2 or more. So Hughes and Pappenhausen 1, Coates 2 or more at 23s. And then the final $20 on, if you go to the winning team and margin exact market for that Storm game, you get the Storm to win by 30 plus at $5. So 20 on that as well. That will do us. Unless anybody else has anything to say.
Don't forget about the promotions as well.
Oh, yes.
We've got the Mega Multi Oval Ball deal, and we've also got same game claim on the Warriors Titans match, Dragons Roosters, Eagles Eels, and the Tigers Broncos. So those 4 matches this weekend are all eligible for the same game claim. So if you do like your same game multis, have a little go.
Blake, thank you very much for joining us this week, mate. I will see you tomorrow at Mount Smart.
Yep, I will see you there, mate. Thanks for extending the podcast extra 20 minutes. I've got to go make some lunch or do something.
Good luck. Teddy, I know you don't like the limelight, but I'll give you the final word if you want it.
Looking forward to another weekend. Hopefully on the fill up for the punters.
That'll do it. We'll see you next week.